folks, and welcome to Michael's 3D World. We got some new stuff coming your way. I know it's been a week or two, it's been almost 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks since my last video. I've been trying to put some things together for you. I've been learning lots of things about 3D printing I want to share with you. We're going to cover a new item I picked up. We got an unboxing going to happen right now in this video. But then in future videos, I'm going to talk to you some more about the process of learning how to do some 3D printing, the patience you must have to do 3D printing. As you can hear these fans blowing right here, this has a lot of fan noise. Now this is one of the quieter printers, the Ender 2 version 3, or Ender 3 V2, that's it. Ender 3 V2. It's the Ender 3 V2. Man, by Creality. Anyway, you know, this one has the quieter processors, that the new drivers that make the servo motors really quiet, but that really personifies how loud the fans are. And this is literally 8 feet from my desk where I work, and I want to quiet it down. And that'll be in upcoming events. We've got some new quiet fans by Noctua, N-O-C-T-U-A. These are some super quiet fans, but we're going to show you how to hook one of these up in some future videos coming up, and you're going to see this thing get a lot quieter than it is now. So we'll compare this section of video. I'll save this section here where you can hear it, and then we'll have the exact same video, same distance, same camera, same everything after they're installed to see how much of a difference it makes. We're going to end up replacing both these fans up top and 2 fans underneath. So stay tuned for that in the upcoming events. I've learned a lot about 3D printing. I've gotten real familiar with drawing and creating in Fusion 3D. I will be doing some tutorials in Fusion 3D, some basic tutorials. And so if you guys want to learn how to draw in Fusion, because there is nothing better than to be able to create something from nothing and then bring it into reality with one of these 3D printers. It's an awesome experience. Anywhere from creating something from nothing or reverse engineering something. Like I said, in this reason I started this channel was because I want to get into the 3D world and bring people along with me on my journey through the 3D world of printing. And it also supports the other channel I have, which is RMD Creations. This is RM3D Creations. The other channel is RMD Creations. That's R, M as in Michael, D as in Dog Creations. And on that channel I do a lot of outboard repair. I do a lot of work on outboards that are 30, 40, 50 years old. Some of the plastic parts are unavailable to purchase anymore. I reverse engineer the missing parts or the broken parts, and I can recreate them here. That's the end game. So without further ado, let's get to unboxing. I've got a CR10 V3 3D printer from Creality. We're going to do an unboxing. This is brand new, just showed up today. So let's do an unboxing and assemble, and let's get our first print going on this machine. The other thing I didn't go into great detail on another video, which I'm going to go into an amazing amount of detail in the next video that I put out, not the next one, but one of my videos, is the Raspberry Pi and installing Octoprint on it. I'm going to walk you through step by step. This is an awesome thing to have on your printer because now your printer becomes completely wireless. You can have it tied to your printer, or to your computer, so you can control it from your computer. I've got a camera on here where I can do time lapse. I can record these prints if I ever want to see what's going on. It also came in handy today because I had a crash. Let me show you what happened. Not a crash, I had what do you want to call it, a print failure. Let me show you what that looks like. Hey guys, just when you thought you had everything figured out, this happens. But that's okay. That's all about the learning process when it comes to 3D printing. You're gonna have this happen. If you're a fool, if you think you're gonna get away with doing 3D printing and learning about 3D printing and not have this happen. So don't be afraid when this does happen. We got to learn from these and then regroup and do it all over again. This one here, I tried a different orientation on printing something. And as you can see, there's one back here that started real well, and this one broke loose somewhere. It's in this mess, and it failed. But that happens. So don't let that discourage you. Be patient and try again. Do something different in your setup. Do something different. Try something. Fail, try, succeed. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I've been into 3D printing now for a total of 3 to 4 weeks by the time this video comes out, maybe. And I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning something new and trying something new. And sometimes this is what happens. So don't be afraid about failure. I just wanted to make a little quick note about that. With that being said, let's get after doing some more fun stuff. Okay, so that's what a print failure looks like. And don't be afraid if that happens to you. That will happen. If you think it won't happen, and if it don't happen, it's because you're not printing anything. You're gonna do some tweaking, you're gonna do some playing around, and you're gonna have some failures, and you're gonna learn from it. I just gotta tell you folks, be patient. I have been now working with the 3D printer for over 3 weeks now, and I'm still learning it at such an alarming rate. My brain's getting so wrinkly, it's not even funny with all the knowledge I'm taking on about designing, printing, the settings, and all that stuff. And I'll share as much of that with you as I can. I want to bring you some good quality content, some good quality videos. That's my end game here. And I hope you guys enjoy being on this journey with me. We're going to open up the CR10 right now. Let's unbox it and see what we've got. All right, let's cut her up and see what we got. It's true to form, like the other package I got from Creality is they're very well packaged. They got some really, really good foam packaging in here. The user manual. Top layer beauty. Boy, look at the size of that table. It's giant compared to the other one. Oh, this is gonna be fun, guys. Let me get lifted out of here. There's one piece. Stand aside. More foam. Wow, they give you a respectable little roll of filament with this guy. The other one was just a taste of it, nothing really fancy. I love the color blue that this has got on it. Oh, let me get it out, I want to show you. What do we got here? Power supply cords, some other pieces. Let's get it all out here and lay it out on the table for you. So it's like the control box maybe. And what else we got here? Let's pull more foam out. And I do tell you, they do a great job of packaging this stuff. One thing I can say about this CR10, it is a lot more assembled than the Ender was. I mean, this has got the motors already attached. And here's something in here yet. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hidden compartment. All right, that seems pretty empty. Let's pile all this back here for now. Let's take a look at what we got. This looks like the upright. So, let's go ahead and presume this is the front, the way they've got it designed, because I have a Creality up front here. Power cord, and I have no idea. It's like a, whoa. It's like some limit switches, like 8 gig SD card. We won't need that because we're gonna be setting up a Raspberry Pi. It's like a nozzle, another limit switch, whole bag of tools, nuts and bolts, putty knife, spool holder, some more bolts. Let's dig into the instructions because that worked for me last time. Looks like the first thing we do is install the gantry crane, which is this piece right here in front of us. Well, this just gets right after it, don't it? I'm gonna go ahead and pull this glass off because I usually have the drop C's. The other thing this comes with already, there is already the modified heavy duty springs under here. Don't have to touch that. Okay, looks like the M5 by 2.5. And it would appear the gantry goes in this direction. This doesn't seem right. Ah, it's because I got things backwards. It's gonna go this way. There we go. That seems more right. Alright, the next order of business is putting on these support bars. And I found it easier just to pull this cap off. And I lost my other piece. There it is. To slide these in. These are supposed to turn and go in there. So you don't have to take the end cap off, but I found it seems to me it works a lot better just to slide it in so you can actually keep an eye on things, because it doesn't seem to want to rotate just like that one. It doesn't want to stay rotated for me in the right position. Put the little pretty cap back on. The other thing you want to do with your rods here is after you put them together, you're going to screw this eye bolt in there on both ends and put the jam nut also on there. So you got something that looks like that. And then you're going to take one of these bolts with a spacer, put the bolt through here, the spacer on the other side, and pull this cap off down here. And we're going to take advantage of that threaded hole they left for us. And we'll unscrew each end, kind of an even amount. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a good eyeball job. Something about like that. I'll take the other one. And we'll keep unscrewing it until that thread's in. Nice and easy, with no binding. Just about right there. Looks like that'll work. And then you can actually, once you get those screwed in, not tightened down yet, but you can kind of balance the top and bottom so they look pretty symmetrical. Go ahead and lock it down. Once you got the symmetry, we're going to go ahead and lock this down. Now I may watch to the end of the video, because if I did something wrong, I'm going to correct myself most likely. So we run both jam nuts up and lock it down. Now that's a rigid little setup there, folks. No doubt about it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the spool holder on here. Oh no, not the dreaded spool holder. You guys know how I fought that last time. Mercy. Looks like it goes on in the same direction. Alright, we've got the spool holder on here. We've got this filament detector on here. So the filament must go through there, which is really cool. Now, the next steps is, looks like the Z limit switch. So this little guy here, holes drilled and tapped right there for it. Looks like that faces inward. Look at that. We'll go ahead and wire up that Z limit switch. Oh no, the wire ain't long enough for that. Okay, so it's got to come over the top here. So we're coming over the top of the rail here from underneath. Looks like I need to find me one more screw. Doesn't look like it's slotted for up and down movement. Looks like that's a pretty fixed item. So we'll go ahead and snug that down. There's our Z limit switch. That's done. To the next page. They made it real easy for us, folks. Oh, now we're hooking up the brains. Hooking up the brains. Okay, looks like there's wiring under here to hook up the Z motor to this side. And there's another Z motor right here just like it. That says Z on it. And we'll just go ahead and plug that in. Easy peasy. We're checking the other Y motor, that's plugged in. All this motor's all plugged in. There's another plug-in up here. What's that for? Oh yeah. This becomes your... See what's going to be the best way to route this so it's not in the way of anything. I think that'll work. That'll travel maybe all the way down. Oh no. They didn't give us a lot of extra wire on this, did they? That's just going to angle the dangle out there like that. Looks like when this goes up, just make sure it doesn't hang up on anything. Looks like that's going to work. Don't want to rub it on the Z screws. Alright, and talk about a material detector ×1 extension cord. That must be what this thing that was already hooked up was. Now we got the brains. We got to hook up. So it looks like this is an aircraft connection that hooks up back here. And this needs to plug in somewhere. Can we figure out where? Oh, right here. So that'll plug in. That's wider one to plug in here, or narrow one to plug in there. This one's got to plug in up here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put this in position where I'm going to have it set up. And we'll finish hooking up the wiring. We're going to go ahead and we got the long plug. Looks like it goes up here. The short flat plug goes down here near the bottom. And you got your aircraft plug coming off the machine. Where'd it go? Right here. That can only go one way as well. Plug that in, tighten down the nut. There we go. We're wired for sound. Now, one real important thing that you cannot forget on the side here, you change it from 230 volt to 115 volt. Don't forget that. And up here you got a micro USB and a place for your SD card. That's right there. I'm going to show you how we're going to do something different there. We're going to go ahead and plug in our power cord. So that's something different there. The Raspberry Pi, you've seen me do that in the other video. We're going to do the same thing here. And there'll be a whole nother video on how to set that up for this machine. Because you can just plug in the SD card and start printing, which is awesome. We're going to go ahead and plug this SD card in. And I'm going to power it up. Let's see what we got. Info for screen, prepare, language, print, about printer, TF, we got a pig, we got a dog, we got a cat, we got a model something, troubleshooting software. Kinda gotta print the pig, don't it? Alright, let's finish looking at the instructions before we do all that. Go back to the main screen, info screen. Tells us that our bed temperature is currently at, our tool temp is currently at 20, the bed temperature is at 20, so that's just room temperature, 20 degrees C. And showing that there's a card in there, it looks like. This is very easy, folks. If I can do it, anybody can do it. My goodness. And you guys have been watching over here while I've been doing that. This is what I'm printing, a new fan housing for this, for the Ender 3. Okay, we're going back to bed leveling. That's easy to do. We'll walk through that. Showing how to do the bed leveling, the preheating, Oh yeah. How to load the filament, which is kind of cool. This is a direct feed right into the top of this bad boy. Looks like it goes right in the top here. Let's pick a color. We're gonna bring you around to this side here. We're gonna go ahead and set this roll on here. It looks like it comes up through there. Oh, the light came on. That's cool. Well, it seems like that could be a lot closer together, don't it? So it would come off of there more into it. Because this feels like this is just going to shave plastic every time it does it. Then it looks like you come down through here. Maybe. Well, that goes right down in there. I do believe that could be more user friendly to everything if this was more directly above it. If I bring this over to center, let's do that. I'm no engineer, but that just seems like that makes a lot of sense. It would take a lot of, so the straighter this is pulling down, the better, right? Let's see if I can get at these now without disturbing my whole setup. That just makes sense if that was a little more straight up and down like that. It's 9 times out of 10 you're going to start in the center of your table, or be in the center of your world anyway. So why wouldn't you do this? So I'll bring that over there. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So this is about 16-ish. 8-ish is the center. We'll call that good. Well, actually the center, I want the center of the filament, right? Which is over about right there. Whoops. Yeah, let's put it about right there-ish. I like that. All right. That certainly seems like that's going to come off of there a little nicer. There we go. I want to clean this off with a little alcohol to make sure there's dust-free and lint-free and dirt-free. We'll do the same to the back of the glass. So there's no oil or fingerprints or anything like that on it. I'm going to auto home it one more time. Alright, now that we're auto homed, we're going to go home and we're going to go here and control, motion, maybe, nope, go prepare, disable steppers. So now the steppers are disabled, I can move this freely. But that's cool. So now what I want to do is I'm going to move it. I like to do the touch off right above where the screw points are. That seems to be the easiest. Now I'm going to get a piece of paper. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to crank this. If you're looking down right now, let's see here, it's not touching. I'm going to turn it, looking down, it's going clockwise, which is bringing the table up. And you want to get that so it just rubs there. And very gently move this over without moving it up and down. And do the same thing. If it's not rubbing, we're going to turn it clockwise until we get the rub. There we go. That's got a nice little rub to it. We're going to move the table forward and do the same thing in this back corner. Now this thing wasn't crazy far off from being from the factory. This one was up a little high. There. We got a light rub there. Just looking at the cable management.
Okay, we're back there. This appears to be a little too high. There we go. And you might have to do this several times, folks, to get this bed level. This thing ain't flat worth a darn. Okay, so the nice thing is we got this thing roughed in, right? That's what we want to do first. Now with the steppers off, I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up a little bit here, like that. And we're gonna go ahead and warm this thing up now to the temperature that we're going to be. So we're gonna preheat PLA. Now it looks like we're gonna go to 45 here and 185, which is a little colder than I do. Let's see if I can do a prepare PLA. So as you saw when I was leveling this, what was happening is this middle is higher than the ends, but that's when it's cold. It may do something different when it's hot. It may be flatter when it's hot. So we want to level it with the tip hot and the plate hot. We're letting it come up to temp. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's coming up to 185 and 45. Now it's at 181 and 43. We're gonna auto home it again. Primarily auto homing it to get the Z at home so you can do your touch off. Now they're at home, go back to prepare, disable steppers. Now if the bed's hot, we'll see how close it is. See, now I backed that off a little ways to get that to touch. We're looking good there. Wow, I had to back that off a long ways. That's how much it grows from that heat. I'd say we do a little test print here, folks. Print from the card. I think the bed's heating. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it'll actually print. Alright, I've printed me a little XYZ test cube. So if we look at it, it's supposed to be about 20 millimeters. So there's 19.96. 20.07, 20.07. It's not too bad. I can't complain. That didn't turn out too bad for the first print. Now we're going to print a modification part. Up here at the top, we have this coming off the roll, coming straight down through here. But it's a sharp edge there, and I don't like how you can feel the drag of it. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. So I'm gonna build a part. We're gonna make a modification and put that modification on and see if we can improve this a little bit. Honestly, I think it needs to have a roller down here, you know, to guide it. And I think it needs to have a roller up here to guide it so it can come straight down through. I might redesign that. I could bring this clear down to here, put a ball bearing roller on either side even, just to guide that. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Let's see what I can come up with. Alrighty, I've made a couple modifications to the CR10 so far, or actually just one modification. It came with this bracket here that held this, I don't know what it's called, filament detector, and it sat up here like this. You know, it wasn't bad, but this thing was straight up and down, pulling off of here, off the roll. It had to come through and make a 90-degree turn down to go down to your head, to the print head. So then I found one on Thingiverse that looks like this. I thought, well, that's a pretty nice idea. It still had to come in raw right into the end of that head, and you can still feel a little drag when you pull down on it. So then I went ahead and designed my own. I had a bunch of these bearings laying around that I bought, you know, a 20 pack for like, they're really cheap, less than 10 bucks I think off Amazon. And I'll put a link down in the description below for that. But yeah, this one here, I put just 4 bearings on it with designed my own rollers and my own spacer here, and it actually spaces it out away, so it's actually in the center of the reel. And it's a nice gentle pull right through there now. Less chance of breakage when you do that. I would think, you know, if breakage was going to happen. This stuff's pretty tough, and I don't think you'd have a problem with it breaking very often. But I can't help but think that it's going to only help the head, because this is a direct drive feeder system on this one. It goes directly into the print head. It sits right on top. I can't help but think that's only going to make that better. Now, right now we're getting ready to print, or not getting ready to print. I have started a print on another design of mine. I've got a brand new set of headphones, so I want to make a stand, a freestanding stand that's about this tall. It's gonna be the tallest print I've done to date, and this is a print that wouldn't fit on my Ender 3s. This will only fit on the CR10 because of the height of the machine. So I'm printing it all in one shot. It's about a 23-hour print. I'm doing about a 40% infill because I want some strength there, plus to give it a little more weight as well, but mostly for strength. And we'll see if we can get through 23 hours with it not breaking on me. But so far I did a print. This print here that I did on this piece was, golly, I want to say it was close to 12 to 13 hours. Worked flawlessly. Printed the whole thing. Assembled it just moments ago, and now it's up here and running. I've only had this machine. I got it on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Today is Friday. And we've already done several prints on it. I did this XYZ little test cube here, and it turned out really well. Dimensionally, it was really good, so I went from there. The bed leveling has worked pretty good so far. Looking down at what's going on right now, everything looks pretty uniform. So we're gonna keep on printing on. We'll be back when this print's done. Hopefully it doesn't fail me. I have pretty good, relatively high confidence that it's going to work. But overall, this printer is really quiet. It's got the quiet drive. You don't hear any of the servo motors on this one. You do hear a lot of fan in here, but I'm pretty sure there's some mods I can do to that to put some Noctua fans in there. That's going to quiet it down a lot. The next thing we're going to end up doing, and you have to watch my next video, is right now this has just an SD card for putting the files on, so I'm taking the card in and out to put files on this thing to run it. And it did come with an extra limit switch too. I think that's pretty standard. I think some of these limit switches are not really heavy duty, and they can get damaged and stop working, so it's nice that I have a spare one now, because they use the same limit switch on all 3 of these printers that I have here now. I just recently picked up, just yesterday, an older Ender 3 that was the predecessor to this Ender 3 V2 that I've got here. The main difference between this one and the other one is the drivers. And you can see that the power pack isn't back here, it's underneath. They made some design changes, but my son had bought a new Ender 3 and didn't want this one anymore, so I bought this one off of him and added it to my collection. And I've already printed. Let me show you what some I print. These here are the first 2 things I printed off of it. These are a pet fang type of cooling nozzle. So this one's going to get reconfigured. As you can see, this one here has a modification over factory anyway, and this one here, when it's assembled, I'll put the 2 Noctua fans on here. That's going to be the quiet fans. These press together and hold the fans in place. It's pretty cool. But anyway, first print off the machine since I got it from him. Turned out beautifully. As you can see here, I've been having a lot of fun doing some printing. I've got a variety of objects here. I have, these are some upgrades that I'm going to be doing to my Ender 3 V2. There's some feet to stand it up a little higher off the table. And over here we've got another, I'm putting some Noctua quiet fans on there. We're going to be doing that upgrade next. You'll see that coming up in an upcoming video. But as you can see, I've got some outboard motor parts here that I've already started to design and make. I've got some buck converter housings that I printed off here. It's got some Raspberry Pi cases we're making here. We're going to be doing some upgrades to a couple of the machines I have here with that. And as you can see, a variety of fun stuff you can get off Thingiverse. There's some owls, some fish, different things like that. Just a variety of test pieces, but we've been having a lot of fun. That represents quite a few hours of printing already. Got this really cool looking steampunk octopus that we printed off, just as a test to see how well it would print. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far, and learned a lot. I think there's still a whole lot more to learn, that's for darn sure. But this is just an example of some of the stuff that you're able to print in a short amount of time. I've only had a printer now in my possession for first printer I got maybe 4 weeks ago now, and we're having a lot of fun with it, learning a lot about it, and I want to share my experiences with you guys, so you guys can don't be afraid to jump in and take a chance and take on the world of 3D printing yourself. Well, guys, I can tell you one thing. I'm pretty happy with this machine. It's got some pretty serious volume. That's no doubt. I'm getting ready to print. This print right here is going to be a microphone headset holder for my computer. That's going to be about yay tall. It's about a 23-hour print. I'm doing about a 40% infill on this one. But hope it turns out well. It's something I drew up myself and I'm printing. So far, everything about this machine has been very pleasant to work with. It's I think it's a lot less. It's definitely a lot less work to put together than the Ender 3. The Ender 3 you had to do some more, especially on your print head, you had to assemble a lot more stuff on that. This came pretty much all together. You just had to, as you saw in the video here, we just put a few things together and we're up and running. I printed several things so far. I did the test cube. I did the initial print of the one from Thingiverse up here, but then I designed my own and put on here. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. As you can see, there's no stress on anything filament wise here. The rollers and everything work beautifully. I may put this up on Thingiverse for other people to download and use. Give me a shout out if you think that might be a good idea. I haven't done anything with putting things on Thingiverse yet, but it's always the first time for everything, right? Well, guys, this is going to be the end of this video for the CR10 V3. Like I said, it's very quiet. What you hear now, any noise you hear right now fan-wise, is from this machine only. The other machines are not currently running. Folks, get out there and do something fun. Get out there and enjoy life. Just get after it. Just get after it. Why wouldn't you? This is fun. It's not a very big investment. Jump into it both feet. Learn how to do it. It's pretty rewarding if you're into creating things. This is Michael, and I'm out. Now, we did have a print failure here. As you can see, looking at this piece, it's kind of hard to see. This end's thicker than this end. This was starting to curl up off the table on two sides. It made it up this far. I thought it would make it to the end, to the very top. And I thought it would make it, but it did not. It moved, and then it broke free, and then that was a print failure. That was probably 14 hours in. But that's okay. That's what happens. That's how we learn. Now, what I've done on this other one over here is I changed it. I actually went to a 60-degree bed temp instead of 50. I did a 15% infill. As you can see here, this was a 40 or 45% infill because I wanted some extra strength. But it also takes a lot more time to do it, about 8 more hours. And this was supposed to take about 15 hours, so I started it last night. Now it's about 9 o'clock the next morning. But yeah, this is going to be my headphone stand. But as you can see, I put a brim around this one. So I ran a higher bed temp, 60 degrees. I put a brim around it to help hold things longer, which it did. Everything looks pretty flat down here. Now, if it just stays till I get to the end, it'll be great. But that's some of the things that can happen. But that's the life in 3D printing. Live and learn, make adjustments, move forward.